Hi guys, how you doing? My name is Crystal and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you like my videos, please smash that like button. Please do subscribe. I'm here in my flat. It is Monday morning. Alexa, what's the time, please?
The time is 10:27 a.m.
It's 10:27, guys. 10:27 in the morning. I've already been out. I've walked Max already. Alexa, good morning.
Good morning. On this day in 1993, the movie Groundhog Day was released, in which Bill Murray's Phil Connors finds himself reliving the same day over and over. It's been estimated that Connors has to relive the titular day for over 10 years. That's an awful lot of groundhogs.
So guys, just feeling a bit washed out and exhausted. That's what happens after when you get a brief illness. So just come over all tired. So I know I've had this before. I've suffered with it all my life. So just come over all sleepy and tired for no reason. So it's warm. It's very mild for February. It's very mild. Alexa, what's the temperature?
At the moment, it's 7 degrees Celsius.
Yeah,
Today, you can expect a high of 10 degrees.
it's mild. It's mild for the time of year, right? And the sun's out. It's confusing me. It feels like it's spring or early summer with the sun shining like that brilliantly out there. So I took Max out for a walk, threw my rubbish out, went outside and took Max for a walk. It was fairly quiet because I went out early. I got up early. The two cats, well, I've got an elderly cat and I've got a kitten, and Harry is a kitten, and I got woken up this morning with my elderly female cat grumping. She was going, and I thought, well, I might as well get up. So I got up and I made a coffee. I just got myself up, and here I am now. I'm taking multivitamins, so we'll see if they kick in. They're supposed to make you feel less fatigued. So I took one yesterday, and I'll take one today, and we'll see how we get on with the multivitamins. With iron. Yeah, it wasn't too bad a walk. The sun was shining. Obviously it's a Monday morning. The builders are back to work on the over 55 flats. There's people working on the field over the scaffolding. And I'm just feeling washed out really. So I've got to try and build myself back up. I shouldn't be feeling tired, but I am. So I carry on, I smile, I do my little videos, I try and cheer myself up, make other people smile. That's me. I haven't been out to the co-op this morning. Someone's banging something. Yeah, someone was hoovering outside my front door just now. That's the cleaners. We have cleaners in the building and they kindly clean the carpet, so I just heard the sound of a hoover by my front door, because I'm usually out with my dog and I don't hear the cleaners near the front door, but I heard the hoover this morning. We have communal cleaners. We had a Scottish lady called Karen at the old flats, and she used to smoke fags and then stub them out on the floor with her foot. Scottish female cleaner at the other block of flats. It's a nice day today. It's sunshine. I'm trying to rest because I haven't been feeling too well, so I'm going to continue to do so till I feel 100%, and then we'll get going again. I've been out to my electricity meter. That's okay for a few days. So is the gas. And what I do is I get pissed off and depressed, and I leave my cups in the sink. So first thing Monday morning I tackle the washing up. Also with pain issues, just doing one little thing each day, even if it's clearing out somewhere, just one bag or of rubbish, or cleaning off one side. It's something, right? Because people with chronic pain issues, it's hard to wash up your stuff in the sink. People see me with a smile on my face, they think I'm okay, but I'm not actually. But I don't want to show people my pain. I want to show people a smile, or that you can carry on with issues. So there you go. So today I am not going anywhere specifically. Also, depression can make you feel tired, or people keep putting you down and trying to destroy you. It can make you feel like, fuck it, I ain't gonna bother. But I try it. I've got older now, and it really doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Shitty things don't matter. They don't matter. I used to get all het up over bills and wind myself up and fucking get into a state. I just, it's not worth it. It really isn't. It just isn't. So yeah, we've had a bit of peace this morning as well. No phones ringing, no messages going off, and it's been okay. So I'm going through the menopause. I get fatigued, I get overheated and hot, and I'm going to have to open all the windows and get the cold air fans on and make myself come to life again, because that's what the menopause is. Hot flushes, feeling tired, overtired, and all these symptoms. And the moodiness, you get up, you get up, you feel fine, and then something pisses you off and you're all cranky. Wow. So like I said, I've taken Max for a walk. I'm now in the middle of doing some washing. I've done the washing up, and I'm going to have to get some air into this flat. When I put the heating on, it just heats up the flat really, really quickly, and I sort of feel like I'm going to faint, so I'm going to have to open some window. I think that's what's making me tired. I turned the water on to wash up, and the heating comes on as well, and I think I've overheated myself. Alexa, LBC radio.
LBC London from Global Player.
He's saying, he's 42 years old, and I have naffle to show for it. I can't use the Anglo-Saxon word that he deploys in this tweet. I've paid over £200,000 in rent. What's the point? That's political. That is someone in society and yet not in it, subsidising someone else's fairly considerable wealth. I'm not down on landlords. I'm completely not down on landlords, but neither do we ignore the fact that Wayne is buying a flat for somebody else by paying that money every month that could be going towards a mortgage, but in the absence of a deposit. And then you've got 99% mortgages on the horizon today in one newspaper report, which I think would that solve the problem, or would that just get a few more people onto the lifeboat? I don't know. But what does it do to your relationship with society? John's in Brighton. John, what would you like to say?
Hey James,
hello.
I'm a 28-year-old renter. Been renting for the last 10 years. I think it's just uncertainty that's just constantly hanging over you. We've had a no-fault eviction before.
Right.
Been turfed out basically because they wanted to rise the rent by about a third.
Because they because they could. They think they could find. They were confident they could find someone who could pay it.
Well, exactly, and this is it. You know, you've got a situation where you can't complain about things. You know, you're not really a real person at that point because you're constantly having to think about the whims of someone else who could surf you out at any moment. And even if you've got a good job, you know, I've got quite a good salary.
Yes.
So's my partner. It's just nowhere near on the horizon. You can't get onto that, you know, next moment really, where maybe you know can't even consider having kids. You can't think about that stuff really.
When did you realise?
When did I realise this was the case?
Yeah, because when you were 18, you didn't. You were 18. I'll rent for a few years and then I'll move. So because I mean, it's interesting that you're 28. That's exactly the age I was when I got a 110% mortgage. And without that, I think I'd be where you are now. If this was 24 years ago.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't think it's really been something that's ever been on my horizon. I don't have any inheritance coming through the pipe.
No.
So you know, it's really down to me if I'm ever going to get to that moment. But yeah, I'd probably say it's not even that there was a moment I realised. It's never been within a grasp because of the conditions. My parents were the same. They had an 100%. Well, they had a 100% mortgage, but it was half rent, half like a shared ownership thing.
So it's as if the social contract is changing from your generation to mine, isn't it? Is that sense of stakeholding is going?
Yeah, absolutely, and there's definitely, you know, like it's creating a lot of resentment. I feel definitely around you know our generation. Really, you know, it's a ladder being pulled up, you know, etc. So
and of course that makes your generation, and oddly across Europe, we're quite good at this, despite the efforts of people like Farage and the rest of them. It does perhaps make your generation susceptible to the old snake oil of blaming it all on incomers or on foreigners, but at the moment that doesn't seem to have much traction because I suppose you can actually see the reality of the situation, and the reality is a no-fault eviction from your landlord. It's not you know moving a refugee into the home that would otherwise be yours. It's the economics of the situation, not the demographics, I think.
Well, I think as well, also the issue is now, you know, like there's always that same old saying when anyone's made a bit of buck, they say something like, well, we've worked really hard for it, and the social contract's changed, and the fact of everyone bloody works hard. Sorry.
no, that's perfect. It's one of my absolute bugbears. Whatever the subject is, it's usually private education. We work jolly hard to send our child. Everyone else is just coasting it. Everyone else is just swinging the lead. Everyone else is just sitting on a deck chair drinking lager all day. I know, and that's Molly touched on that as well. And I think this is really significant. That sense that the deal has changed, and it's now really unfair because, for good or for ill, if you're thinking about the end of the line, you're thinking about retirement. The first caller, I think, made that point really starkly. You've got no nest egg. You've got nothing there. And if rents were cheap, like they are in some European countries, Austria is a remarkable model for rent control and huge swathes of social housing. If you've got low rent, you can have savings. You've got high rent and impossible entry into the housing market. It's the worst of all imaginable worlds. Unless you're a private landlord, like the Chancellor of the bloody Exchequer. Billy's in Ventnor on the Isle of Wight. Billy, what would you like to say?
Hi, good morning, James.
Hello.
I want to sort of give you my position and just sort of tell you where I'm coming from my angle. So I spent 2 years in Watford, having qualified to be a teacher, and then I sort of uprooted myself and moved back down to where all my family are on the Isle of Wight, because the housing and the rent just kept going up and up and up. And it was really, for me, James, the cost of living crisis in sort of combination with everything else that pushed me to make that decision. But even when I was in Watford teaching, within the first year, I moved into a flat with my flatmate at the time in High Wycombe, and we had to commute 50 minutes a day. And I know that's not the worst thing in the world to do, but
it's not ideal, is it?
Well, it isn't ideal, and the picture I'm trying to paint is exactly what I phoned up to say to you and your producer that I spoke to, and that was that you just end up buying out of the society that you're in, and I think it's really sad.
This is every call. It doesn't happen very often. The idea that we have found a seam of lived experience that is, to be fair, Michael Gove seems to be aware of it, albeit that he's more worried about it for political reasons than empathetic reasons. And you're a teacher, so you know, you should be a valued member of society, and yet the message you're getting from society is that you're not valued enough to be a homeowner.
Well, do you know what? I'll be entirely honest with you, and I'm going to give you some financial details here.
Okay. Only if you're sure. I don't want to pry.
Oh, of course, no. You can dig as much as you want, James. One of the things I love about listening to you is you're the only presenter that digs and puts things under the microscope. I'm grateful for that.
That's very kind.
I don't want to make you sort of bluff with compliments.
No, stop now. That's enough.
I know you
Enough about me. Enough about me. Tell me more about you. Well, so go on. Tell me the detail that you were going to show.
So, in a nutshell, really, it's a good thing that it happened because I love being back home with my family. But actually, the trigger point that made me take an £8,000 pay cut and a demotion was because of the cost of housing. And it's cheaper to live over here. And at the moment, although I'm living with my dad, it is cheaper over here to rent a 2-bedroom flat, so I can have a whole extra spare bedroom to myself. Than it was to stay up in Watford on an £8,000 pay rise and a promotion, effectively. And I just think, what is the world coming to when somebody is working their butt off for 40, 50 hours a week and they can't even afford to get even a shared ownership property? And that was the best I was looking at.
Yeah, I know, and you're not alone. There's a medic in one newspaper today who is renting a room in a home share with a landlady. She's got quite a good deal on it, but she's a 26-year-old NHS medic, and again, key workers is the phrase we're looking for: teachers, doctors, nurses. It's bizarre, actually. The more you think about it, as Billy, far too young at the age of 27 to be using the phrase "what is the world coming to?" But my goodness me, he's right. What is the world coming to? When a teacher can't afford to live anywhere near the school that they work in, or indeed can't afford to buy a home anywhere in the country, practically. This is enormous, isn't it? This is absolutely sort of epic. Should we have a look at Idiot's Corner? Here's John in Idiot's Corner. Did your fantastic Labour Party do anything about this topic when they were in power? John, it's 2024. The Labour Party haven't been in power since 2010. I appreciate you listening to this thinking, maybe we're the bad guys. Maybe these people that I've been voting for all my life are actually greedy hooligans. But it is such a stupid contribution to the conversation. And the short answer is yes. The situation was much less bad when the Tories came into power than it is now. And one of the areas where this perhaps is most acute is in the area of empty homes. There's a fascinating organisation called Action on Empty Homes that Corpsey has alerted me to or reminded me of. And the numbers they've got, in 2023 alone, there was about a 5% increase in the number of empty homes. So 261,189 long-term empty homes. What is that about? Actually, that's another question. 03456060973. What is that about? It's 10:45.
LBC. Amazing deals on package holidays. Pay now.
I've got tickets to that sold-out show.